So, Funcom's upcoming game, Dune Awakening, has a small lore problem. The survival MMO game is set on the harsh desert planet Arrakis, where you can build your own home, ally with one of the great houses, flee from giant sandworms and fight other players with long-range weapons and enter close-range melee combat. And this is where the lore problems come in. You won't be able to shoot players that have active personal shields with Dune's laser weapons, and here's why. Like and subscribe for more content. So this is the description from the Dune wiki. Shields were produced by a Holtzman generator, the field deriving from phase 1 of the suspensor nullification effect. Shields can be calibrated to permit the passage of matter below given speeds. However, if a lasgun beam hit a Holtzman field, it would result in a subatomic fusion and a nuclear explosion. The center of this blast was determined by random chance. Sometimes it would originate within the shield, sometimes within the laser weapon, sometimes both. This actually comes into play in a scene in Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2, when a unit of Harkonnen soldiers refrain from turning on their shields for fear of being wiped out in one big blast. In a game though, you can probably imagine how dozens of players firing lasers at each other and setting off near constant nuclear blast will be difficult for a combat balancing perspective. But the game's creative director Joel Bylos is also deeply committed to Dune lore. Letting players freely blast away with their lasguns just wasn't going to be an option. That left one option, getting permission from the Herbert lore masters to carve out an in-universe exception. In our story there's an incident with a lasgun and a shield that occurred, and from that point on, all Chom imported lasguns to the planet now have a safety built in, so they cannot target shields. So if you aim a lasgun at a shield in our game, it just turns the lasgun off automatically, Bylos said. Last year Bylos told that Dune Awakening is set in an alternate timeline from the original Frank Herbert novels, where something has happened to change the course of history. We know Paul's father, Duke Leto Atreides, is still alive in this alternate history of Dune, for example. Now we also know that the trading guild that controls imports and exports across the galaxy in this alternate reality thought that soldiers nuking one another with lasguns all the time was probably a bad idea. That's basically something we had to do for the gameplay, because we can't have nuclear explosions. I mean, we could have nuclear explosions going off all the time, but it wouldn't be very fun for everybody except the person who caused it, Bylos said. We discussed this, we went through it with our partners at Legendary and the Herberts as well, and got their sign off, so we could do it this way. We had this prototype which was kind of like Ghostbusters, where they cross the stream and everything gets unstable. The lasgun starts to shake and the two players explode in nuclear explosions, but it just felt a little tacky unfortunately. So you can't do the lasgun plus shield, but it's explained in the lore why you can't. Another Dune element that the Awakening won't have is Freeman sandwalking, at least at launch. The team at Funcom is still trying to figure out how to implement the feature without it looking ridiculous.